Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, I'm rebuilding the brake calipers from a 2014 Camaro SS. First things first. Here I am removing the pistons, the seals, and all the hardware from the brake caliper and get it all stripped and ready to be powder coated. After the calipers are all stripped and ready to be powder coated, I dropped them off at Doc's Garage Works. Here's a short clip of his work. Now that I have the calipers back, it's time to install the new seals, pistons, and new hardware. So that way they'll be brand new once again. As you can see, the new seal has to be pressed in, but I was so impatient that I tried to do it by hand. Now I'm going to show you how to install the seals. I like to use brake fluid to lubricate the rubber and make it easier to install. once the outer seal is installed onto the piston, now both have to go into the cylinder as a unit. However, it's not that easy. So here I'm using a rubber mallet to push it into place. Once the piston is inside the cylinder, I start pressing the outer seal by hand, and later on I will use a C-clamp to fully sit it in place. After I started mentioning the outer seals, it hit me that I did not show you how to install the inner seals. So here's the installation of the inner seals onto the calipers. Again, everything must be lubricated with brake fluid in order to go in easily and not rip it. Once the inner seals are installed and lubricated, the next step is to install the pistons and the outer seals. And here's the installation once again. Now it's time to fully press the seals. And the way I do it is I use this large C-clamp in a 39mm socket. That fits perfectly onto the seal and it won't tear it up. I also use a towel and fold it multiple times so that the brake caliper won't get scratched. Once the outer seal is pressed in, you follow the same procedures to do the other calipers. As you can see, the bolts have surface rust. After putting them in a wire wheel, the bolts come out looking like brand new. And now it's time to put the calipers back together. With the brand new seals installed and the bolts cleaned up looking like new, I put the two halves together and then torque them to specs. These Brembo calipers use 2 bleeder valves on each side of the caliper. So of course I ordered quite a few to put brand new bleeder valves on all the calipers. And here's how I installed them. Damn, it's looking pretty good. And one of the last steps is to install a crossover tube. Now, one thing to remember is the crossover tube always is mounted at the bottom of the caliper. You can pretty much put it anywhere, but in order for the brakes to work right, the crossover tube has to be at the bottom of the calipers. Repeat the process 3 more times, and then we're done. In case you missed it, here's a recap of how to install the seals, pistons, crossover tube, and putting the brake calipers together. And here they are, all finished. They just need one last detail.